That's right, guys. In this video, we're going to talk about the Solana price prediction. And as I did in my previous videos, I'm going to show you when the next all-time high might be, and as well how high can it go. And I have a surprise for you in this video because I have a strategy that you can use fully for free on Solana, which makes a ton of money. During the whole video, I'm going to use my own strategy because that's how I trade this asset. But at the end, I'm going to show you the free strategy that you can use. Okay, cool. So let's get started. As always, this is not financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money. But that is why I do this YouTube channel, so that I can educate you and also entertain you a little bit, so you have higher chances of success. Okay, I do algorithmic trading. I use strategies only. That's the only way I buy and sell. And I want you to learn how to do the same. And that's why you subscribe, you click the bell, and also you like this video, right? Okay, let's get started now. Okay, my guys, as you can see in the background, I already have the chart prepared, and I want to show you first when the next all-time high might be. But as you can already see here, right, we don't have a lot of data, okay, because we had only the last bull market and, well, this bull market, okay? So it's not a lot of data we can base our assumptions on. So take everything I say in this video about Solana with a grain of salt, right? But still, we can do this kind of prediction. And the reason why it's important actually is because it can help us to make a decision how much money to allocate in our portfolios. Okay, not financial advice, but that's how I do it, right? So if a coin has a good price prediction, then I might allocate more money, right? Of course, it also depends on my strategy that I'm using on the coin. I will show you how my strategy performs, and all of this comes together to make a decision, help me make a decision how much money to put, or even if I want to invest in that coin at all, right? Because if the all-time high that I project is not that high, right? And if the strategy I use, right, and I have 3 strategies, I try all of them. And if that strategy has too high risk and doesn't make enough profit, right, this information is important because then I can say, okay, screw that coin, right? Okay, I'm not going to say that about Solana. I'm just giving you some education in between. Solana, of course, is quite important for me as well. So now let's check when the next all-time high might be. And as you know, the way I do this with altcoins is by looking at the Bitcoin halvings, which are those yellow lines. And yes, I want to change the color of that line, but I cannot because this stupid indicator doesn't let me. So it's yellow. Okay, it's somewhere here. And so this was one halving, and this is the next halving. And this is as well what I did with the Ethereum chart, right? Because it's very accurate. So you start from the Bitcoin halving because Bitcoin is pushing everything up, right? You start with the Bitcoin halving, and that's how you project the altcoin into the future, right? When it comes to the timing, right? Not the price, the timing, right? And that's what I do here as well. And for Solana, we have the first halving here. It happened in May 2020. And until the next all-time high, let me zoom in here a little bit. 545 days passed, right? You can see it started here and the top was exactly here, 545 days. Now, if we take the same length and we do the time count, the same we did with Ethereum, and it's very accurate over there because Ethereum is a bit older and we had more data to work with. But if we do that, then we start at the current halving and we arrive, if we go forward 545 days, we arrive at this time over here, which is 16th of October 2025. And that makes sense because it kind of aligns with where the Bitcoin and the Ethereum next all-time high will be as well, right? Big surprise. So now let's look at how high can Solana go. Now, in order to predict the next all-time high for Solana, we have to be very creative because there is not a lot of price history. So in order to get a better prediction, I bring you 2 different methods to predict the price, and I think the answer is somewhere in between those 2 prices. One of them is very high and the other one is, well, lower. So let's check out the very high one first and see how I got to that one. Now the first method is using a parabola. As you can see here, this is the yellow line. Now the idea of the parabola is to connect all of the highs of the price, but this is not possible with Solana because it went even above that. And even if we try to change the parabola so that it touches all of the highs, it's not possible. There is no way you can put this parabola so that it will touch all of the highs. And that is why the way the parabola is drawn right now, I think, is the best way, because you can see here, the parabola is resistance for the price, and here it is support for the price, right? So that gives us exactly what a trend line should be doing, support and resistance, right? So taking that and extending it to the future, right? Knowing that the next all-time high will be somewhere here, and let me zoom out a little bit, we know that the next all-time high might be somewhere here, right? So now we can connect the time and the parabola to come up with this price prediction here at $5,500 per Solana. And yes, that is very high, okay? That's why I'm saying do not take this number and run away, because I think this is too high, okay? It's just the highest I can come up with based on actual chart analysis, okay? So how many percentage is that from where we are right now? That is very easy to find out. We move the cursor here at the current price at $134 per 1 Solana, and then we measure until the parabola, and we arrive at 3,900% profit if it reaches that price prediction. Now, take that with a grain of salt, like I said before, because it's very high. Now, let's look at the other method that I brought you to see where that will arrive, and then let's create the average of both. All right, let's clean up the chart here and let's go to our very much trusted Fibonacci retracement levels. We have done exactly the same in the other prediction videos for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And one more time, I remind you to watch those videos because they are, well, people love them, okay? So check it out. And so we're gonna do the same here. And I'm gonna put myself back to the bottom. And the thing is with the Fibonacci's is that Solana went so parabolic that it's very hard to use Fibonacci to predict exactly the top, but it does show that the upper limit of Fibonacci, which is the 3.618 and 4.236, this basically upper limit here, is a sell region, right? As you can see here, people are selling around that region, right? But Solana has outperformed that. But if we do the next Fibonacci from the next top and bottom, we see that it matches a bit better. So it gets closer and closer to fitting into the Fibonacci scale. And here we see another sell region. It went above the Fibonacci, but just briefly, and then it fell down and went into a bear market. So I think that, of course, at the beginning of the asset, you can't use Fibonacci, okay? It goes freaking parabolic. And that's what makes it interesting, right? For people who invest in early coins. But Solana is becoming more and more mature. And I believe that now Fibonacci's will be a bit more accurate. I'm not saying it will be perfect, but that's why we have two methods of predicting. Now let's do the Fibonacci for the current cycle, top to bottom. Okay, this is the bottom here. And let's extend it to the time count that we have already done, right? Over here, correct? And that will lead us into the price doing something like this, right? Maybe getting sold over here, right? This could be the top, and that's exactly what I want to show you here. It could go higher, right? For whatever reason, but basically the top will be somewhere between this region here and the previous prediction that I told you. Now, this region here, right, is between $900 per 1 Solana until $1,000 per Solana, right? So that would mean a price appreciation of about 600% to 700% per 1 Solana, right? That would be the profit from where we are right now. Now, that is a bit low in my opinion, and that is why I use these two methods to come up with one price that is somewhere in between. And if you average these two predictions out, right? If you average out this level here around $1,000 per Solana and this level here around $5,400 per 1 Solana, then you arrive at the price of $3,200, which is around here per 1 Solana. So I think that is more realistic, but I think it's a good idea if you play these price levels to take chips off the table at this level, take maybe most of the chips off the table at this level here in between, and then leave a moon bag for this level over here, right? Because why take all the risk, and what if it doesn't reach up there, right? So taking profit on the way up is a good idea if you don't have a different type of strategy. And so those are the price predictions, right, that I have for Solana. Again, I use them not to buy and sell, but to define how much I put into the asset. Because if I want my portfolio to make the most profit, then I have to allocate to the assets that have the highest price target. And the price target should not come from my gut feeling, instead it should come from measuring the chart and coming up with some mathematical model like this one, right? It's not complicated, but it gives me an indication where it could go. Now, if I would buy and sell based on these levels, I personally would not feel comfortable, okay? Because that's not how you trade, in my opinion. That's good to allocate a portfolio, like I say, but not for trading, okay? So how do I trade it? And then as well, how can you trade it based on the free strategy that I want to give you at the end of the video? Let's check it out now. The way that I trade Solana is with my trading strategies, and I have made a video on my channel already some months ago saying that I put 25,000 into this strategy that I'm showing you right now, and I just let it happen, okay? So I will make an update video on what happened with that money very soon. But how do I play Solana? What do I do exactly with this information, and how do I buy and sell, and when do I do that? Let me show you right now, and as well show you how you can do pretty much the same. So I use my trading strategy. It is called Bought Too Fast. You can see the performance numbers here, 21,000% profit. This started in June 2020 and the drawdown was 36%. Now, is 36% good? Let's check it out. Solana had a drawdown of 96% itself, so 36 is quite good. So when do I buy and when do I sell? Well, it depends on the strategy, right? As you can see here, let me zoom in even more. You can see there are buy and sell signals on the chart, right? This is a buy signal, this is a sell signal. This is a buy signal, and scrolling up here, this is a sell signal over here. There was a small trade here as well. Nothing happened there really. And then here you have another buy, another sell, and so on and so on. And it protects from the downside as well. So it is fully out of the market when the asset is losing purchasing power. Then I can allocate that money somewhere else, right? Okay, so that is what I actually do when it comes to buying and selling. That is what I do when it comes to buying and selling. I simply automate my trading strategy. I use SIGNUM for that. It connects from TradingView to SIGNUM, and SIGNUM then sends a buy and sell signal to my exchange. It's fully automatic. It is very nice. Okay, I use the prediction that we just talked about and I decide where to allocate this asset, right? I want to make sure that I allocate to the asset with the highest upside and the lowest risk, okay? So of course, if I look at the risk here, 36% drawdown, I look at the profit that it made over time, the profit factor and so on, and I look at how much money it can still make, right? So the upside is quite nice because we said it can go to 3,200. So it's about 2,300% profit from where we are right now. So that is very nice. So I can now put it in my portfolio at the right place. But if you need a trading strategy and you want to do pretty much the same, well, you can do two things, right? Either you want to use exactly what I'm using, well, then go to autotrading.vip and apply for access for my masterclass. You get access to my strategies as well. You get access to me and to a lot of other things. But if you don't want to spend the money, then let me show you another method. As you can see, I added a new strategy on my chart. It's called Breakout Trend Follower Strategy. You can find the link to the strategy down below in the video description, add it to your favorites, and then basically go to your indicators and click on it, and then you can add it to your chart, pretty much the same as I have right now. I did not mess with any settings, so it's exactly the same settings as you will have because I didn't change them whatsoever. Let's look at the performance numbers of the strategy. We have net profit of 14,600%, which is quite good as well from 2020 here, June 2020 roughly. And we have a max drawdown of 46%. Yes, it's more than mine, but it's still better than the asset itself because, again, reminder, this asset had a drawdown of 96%. I'm showing you this strategy because I want you to get started thinking about automation, right? And you need a strategy for that. And this is a strategy you can use on Solana, right? So get the strategy, it's free. Get SIGNUM, it's free for 14 days, but automate it, right? Because if you don't automate it, you will not get this performance because you will be sleeping or whatever when the trading signal comes. So automation is the thing, right? That's what I do and it works great. So do it and let us know in the public Telegram. There is a link down below. Join this public Telegram because we talk about algorithmic trading there every day, okay? And sometimes we joke around about other things. It is a great Telegram group with hundreds of people in there. So having said all of that, if you watched until now and you are applying for autotrading.vip, then mention Red Bull and you get 20% off. Okay, having said that, this is the next video you should watch.